Hey guys, you're watching because you want and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a PvP map. A map that I'm building for a friend who owns a server that I've been on quite a lot recently, actually. Meeting a bunch of you guys. It's been a lot of fun getting killed by you mostly because I'm terrible at PvP. But maybe I'll be a little bit better on a map that I've created. When this map goes onto the server, maybe I'll be able to wreck you all because I'll know all the little secret areas and all the best escape routes. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Today, I want to work on a border, a maximum area of where players cannot go beyond. I can't believe I just described a border. This is a wall, basically, that's going to go around the area. Now, there's three ways that I'm considering. And you're going to like one of them, but I think different people are going to like a different options. There's going to be some arguments in the comment section. Option number one is just to use mycelium and make a mycelium wall X amount of blocks high. Looks pretty natural, but making sure that you can't climb it, so it's not like one block inclines. Otherwise, you're going to be able to jump up it and get out of the map. You're going to want to have at least 2 blocks so people can't get up them. Option number 2, so that would just be 100% mycelium all the way around. Option number 2 was the option that I first originally thought I was going to do at the beginning of the series. And you know how we've got like red, let's call these red circles, the mushrooms, let's call them red circles with white dots in them. That's a blue circle with white dots in them, purple circles. And I was thinking about doing multicolored giant like orbs, basically, all the way around the map. Yellows, oranges, very multicolored, and then put in a bunch of white dots all in them, so they look like a bunch of sort of mushrooms all mashed into one. It could look really, really nice, or it could look really, really horrible because it's going to have colors that we don't have anywhere else in the map. But I really want to do that. But my third option is an option that I thought of just before recording this, and it's sort of a balance between the two. It's using mycelium and then darker blocks like brown clay, cyan clay. Well, maybe not cyan clay, but definitely the light grey clay, brown clay, grey clay, maybe with some black clay. Mix them all in and have a little bit of a darker border on it. So what do we want? Do we want plain mycelium? Do we want light and vibrant? Or do we want dark and natural? That's a tough call for me to make. That's a really tough call for me to make. I'm so tending towards the multicolored. I'm going with the multicolored. We've got the greens, we've got all the colours in the middle. I'm going multicolored. So, sword. We'll grab ourselves a sword. I want to have brush sphere of I need a clay. I need my clay. Let's start off with yellow. 159.4. Brush sphere 159.4 and a big size. Can we go to 9? 6 is the biggest we can go. 6. It's actually not that big. Okay, that might actually change my mind then. If the spheres aren't actually... I'm sure I could probably go into the config and make it larger. But I think that's killed that idea. If it was big round orbs, I would do that. If not, it's going to look a little bit jumbled. So, we're going to go with the brown idea. Do we... Yeah. We're going to start off with a mycelium base border, which is 110. This is going to require some cuts, I'm sure, to do this, but this is going to run around the very edge of the border. This is just going to be somewhat of a placeholder to know exactly where we want the border to run, and then I can build upon that. We want to try and keep it out of the way of trees, so the trees don't get sort of caught up in them. We need to make sure that areas that have trees close to them, the wall is a little bit higher, so there is no way that you can actually cheat on top of it. I'm sure there's going to be at least a couple of cheat exits to begin with anyway. It's also showing me what places I need to fill up as well. What areas are going to be a little bit too empty. Where the river runs to, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to solve that. We can do some of them as if it was water grates, like sewer grates almost, with iron bars, and have a waterfall behind it or a waterfall in front of it. What trouble is with the waterfall in front of it is people can climb up the waterfall. Unless I do a waterfall on that mountain, that would be an idea. On that one right there? Yeah. Okay, we might not be able to get that in this episode because I want to do this wall. There's our perimeter. It's actually quite a big area. There are some really big maps that he's already got on his server though, so I've got a good idea on how big is too big and how small is too small. So now that we've got that going all the way around, I want to now mix in a bunch of different colours. So we want 110, which is mycelium. We want clay. I might have to write these down. I want 159, 8. Yeah, I'm going to write these down because I have the worst memory in history. And remembering like 4-digit numbers, many of them is going to be really hard. 159, 8. I want 159, 7. I want, maybe not hardened clay, 159, 12. You know, I am going to put the cyan in there. 9. 159, 9. What about normal hardened clay? Yeah, we'll do that as well. And 172. And that should be everything that we need. So we're going to change this to 110, 159, 8, 159, 7, 159, 12, and 159, 9, and 172. Yes! Oh, that's so perfect. So, we'll have this going around the edge. It's so clear. Using a block like this, it's going to make it so obvious that it's the border. That's exactly what I want. You know, you can say from miles away, yeah, that's a border. I can't go any further that way. I'm not going to bother trying to climb it. I know that I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, see, that looks so cool from this inside. I really like that natural look. I'm very, very happy. We'll do that all the way around here. And I was thinking, I was actually on the server when I got inspiration for the idea. I was looking at some of the other maps that people had, or the other maps that he had on the server. I don't know who made them, but other maps that he had on the server. And there was a bit of a pattern I saw occurring through multiple maps. And that's that usually the ground on maps that stood out, my favorite maps there, they didn't have one solid color as the base ground. They had like grass, but then they had some cobblestone, some stone brick, and sort of mixed up maybe some lime clay and stuff like that in there, just to try and make it so that it wasn't all one solid color. I reckon we can do the same thing by mixing in softer mycelium-ish colors, cyan clay, maybe some standout ones like brown clay or something like that. That's a little bit on the touchy side, but yeah, that could definitely work. I want these to be nice and high so you can't, no matter how high you get on the map, I don't want to be able to see over into whatever is going to be behind it, if it be a void or something like that. And I want to sort of build up the area like this. So I'm going to cut away. I might take that tree out as well. I'm going to cut away. I'm going to build this wall up nicely, and I shall be back. Alright, so I've got the world border, if you like, all of the way around the map. I'm 99% sure that there's nowhere people can climb it. I'm not going to use the smoothing brush because that is going to definitely make it possible, because that's the smoothing brush does do that. It tries to make it so it is climbable. But there's something that we can do here. I think the orange, for a starter, is a little bit too different from our our design look. So we can remove all of the orange blocks and replace them with mycelium. That makes it look like that. Now that looks a lot better, I think, on its own. I think the orange was a bad one. I'm very, very happy with that, in fact. What if we now also take away... I like the two browns. What if we took away the grey? 159.9. 159.9. No, I like the grey. I like that. That blends in really well with the tops of the mycelium. I think that's good. I think the orange was the only one that didn't really work that well. And then I want around the entire top. It's going to take ages, right? But around the entire top here, I want oak trees that go all the way around the top. It'll just look really nice. It'll just really finish it off. Have that green, that bright, vibrant green across the top of the map. And I think it'll look really cool, right? I mean, check that out. We can definitely see everywhere now. Okay, wonderful. I'll do the tree things maybe this episode, maybe in another episode. I want to try and see if there's anywhere that I could get a nice waterfall in. Like, here would be good, and have the waterfall run down there and into the water. If we poked a hole here for the minute, it might require some teasing. There's nothing that they can destroy. Yes. Yes. Getting a little bit too big. Oh, but then it's sort of shortened up. And it doesn't make it all the way, obviously. This. Oh, no. The grass is spread over this side. Oh, no, that was probably me to begin with, in fact, wasn't it? It looks like such a square corner. I would say that was done with my world edit. I didn't even see that. The mushrooms. I can... Gay difficulty peaceful doesn't get rid of them. Game rule mob spawning. I don't know. It's not going to really affect us that much. I'm sure the guy who's going to have this map will know a way how to get rid of him. That's quite funny, though. That's the last thing I expected. I did wonder why there wasn't any mushrooms. Mushrooms need grass to spawn on then, hey? Not mycelium. Apparently. They didn't spawn with any mycelium, but they spawned with the grass, so that must be the case. Alright. I want to then block that up. Again. I want to let that run down. I want to have this sort of force the water down this way a little bit more. Like this. I want it to go on this side of the mushroom. Of this little mushroom that's behind me here. So I'm just going to try and force it to go down this way. And that should go into the water. That shouldn't really affect it here. And then we just sort of build up this part. Make it look a little bit more natural again. And not quite as sudden. That was always a bit sharp there anyway, I knew. Like that. Okay, that looks a little bit more natural again, right? It doesn't look quite as obvious. It does on the inside, but the water's now going to be taken away. Which one was it? That one. So let's see if it goes down correctly now. Because once it's down, I can then take away extra blocks that we don't need. See, that looks really cool. Let that come down there. I sort of like that one there. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Or that one. Or that one. I think that looks a little bit more of a natural waterfall, right? If we can make it a little bit bigger at the top here, that would be nice as well. Really? That might ruin my whole... No, it didn't. Okay. If I could put one in here. Just play nicely. Play nicely. Let's play nicely. Okay, that's pretty nice. I like that. To dress it up, we're going to want to have some leaves down either side of this, and maybe some stone brick pillars. Brick. No, not brock. Brick. Stone bricks, not monster egg ones. Mossy stone bricks, not monster egg ones. We have mossy ones close to the water. Not there. Something like that. And the same up this side. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Just getting them where I want them first. Like that. Then we have some of these. I think just 2 blocks high for the moment. A little bit sort of almost ruiny like, you know, like old ruins. That one, that one. That one. Yeah. 100%. Stairs of the same type. Oh, that scared me a little bit. And then we're just going to sort of put some stairs on some of these. Facing different directions, almost as if they're a little bit broken. As if they sort of were, at one point, arches and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can get up them. You can sort of parkour up some of these and get up to higher ground and stuff like that. That's what I like out of maps is the ability to get to different places. Like that. I think that looks really cool. Then we can get some leaves going around the edges of these and dress it up a little bit. Like this. Might even be able to hide some light in some of these points as well. With some glowstone underneath the surface of the water. Surface of the leaves. So it's an old school way of doing hidden lighting. Like this. Nope, not at the top. Yeah, up this part. And this one. Tricky balance to get with the amount of leaves that you really want around here. Just a matter of sort of putting down a bunch, standing back, seeing how if there's too much or too little, and then modifying it to suit how you want it to be. But I think that's pretty nice. I think that's a nice way to dress that area up without getting into grass, because that's going to spread to mycelium and it's just going to wreck the entire place, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go around. I am going to put down oak trees all of the way around the top of this map, and that's probably going to then finish it off for this episode, because we've done a lot today, but it's just been a long day for me. But we're definitely sort of getting to the point where we can get into smaller details. I should be back. I'm going to stop rambling. Okay, so the trees are up all of the way around the boundary of the map here. It looks really nice. It's doing exactly what I want. It just has that little bit of colour around the edge of the map now. Very, very nice. I've also noticed, or I've also thought, that we can have waterfalls anywhere that we like into these rivers. I can just make it so if you climbed up to the top, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere. So it really wouldn't be that much of a struggle to do. We can do something like, well, like here's perfect. Like we just put the water down like this. That's going to be pretty close. And then make it so you can't actually get above here. By either doing an overhang, something like that. I'm trying to mix in the colours so it doesn't look like I've actually done it. Not that one. That one. Like that. And then there's nowhere that you could get and cheat your way up. You could come off onto one of these. You could hide behind here. But you're more than welcome to hide on the PvP map. There's just not much point playing it if you're hiding. But that's a really cool way that we can do waterfalls into some of these rivers. Maybe on like 2 or 3 of them we can have waterfalls. And then the other ones will be like drain away sections. But this is looking superb. I'm so happy on how this whole map is turning out. Soon we'll be able to move on to traps and stuff like that. Nothing that involves redstone, obviously, because it's a server map. I don't want to lag anyone out or anything like that. But at the moment, the only sort of danger of this map is the opponent players. There's nothing that can kill you in the map. I want lava that you can drop into and hidden areas through lava, all the fan favorites. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, then hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.